Do you have an old quilt? Did you inherit it? Did someone give it to you? Did you find it at a thrift store or an antique shop and you just wanted to give it another home? That's what I did with this one. I saw this drippy tulip quilt on the internet and I knew I had to purchase it. It is severely damaged. Whole sections of it where the fabric has disintegrated. The green is completely disintegrating all along the edges. But I just fell in love with this quaint old quilt. Now, it is beyond repair. So I've decided I want to reproduce this quilt. So that's what I've decided to do. And I'm going to show you how I drafted a pattern for it. So the first thing I did was I measured the width of the block. And the width of the block is almost 12 inches in width, and the height was about 12.5. Now I went around and I did a sampling of the whole quilt, and that was the approximate size. So I know that my finished block is going to be in the 12 to 12.5 inch range. There's 4 main parts to this block. There's the left and the right petal. Those are mirror images of each other. So I only needed to make one template for that, because when I flip it, it's the opposite petal. Then I had to make one template for the middle. That's one template. There's a template for the stem, and then one template for each leaf. Now again, the leaf is mirror image when you flip it this way. Now, what kind of paper did I use? Years ago, I worked in an office, and while they were cleaning out the storage room, they had a couple of reams of this old onion skin typing paper. It's very thin. They were going to get rid of it, and I said, "Can I have it?" They said, "Absolutely, take as much as you want." What's nice about this is it's see-through. So what I did was I took a pencil and I lightly drew the outline of that particular piece. Okay? And I used a pencil. Now, this particular quilt is damaged. So if that pencil mark were to go through, I would not have a problem with that. But let's say you have a quilt that is an heirloom and you don't want any damage to the fabric. There are many products out there that are disappearing ink. There are many products out there that are different color chalk that you can use to make the same outline without fear of damaging the fabric underneath. The other thing that you want to consider is, let's say you don't have that nice onion skin paper. Do you have tissue paper from gift wrapping? That works very well. You can see through that very well. I tend to keep my gift wrapping paper when someone gives me a gift. I take it and I iron it flat with a dry iron. And then I use that when I need it for creating a template. This particular block is done in one piece here. The leaves are appliqued. The stem is appliqued. However, this particular petal was sewn in with set-in seams. I'm going to approach mine a little differently. What I'm going to do is I'm breaking my block into 2 sections, a top half and a bottom half. And my bottom half is going to be one cut that's going to be strip pieced for my stem. That's going to be my bottom half. And my top half is going to be one background piece. I'm going to create the petals, and then I'm going to machine applique them to that top piece. So it's just a matter of choice. So I just wanted to give you a little example of how you can draw a template off of an old quilt. The other option you have for creating your template is to buy template plastic, and they sell those at the craft store. You can order that online, or you can buy plastic sheet protectors that are used to cover papers for school, college, high school, that sort of thing. So you have a couple of different methods for transferring the pattern onto paper. But remember, the main things that you want to consider are the finished size of the block. What are the regular dimensions of the original pattern? Do you want to keep that regular dimension? Do you want to scale it down a little bit? Or do you want to increase it? For me, I want to keep that scale. This particular quilt is 4 blocks by 5 blocks with the sashing in between. It's approximately 66 inches by 77. I'm not making mine that big. I'm going to do a 6-block version of it. And I'm going to do it strippy, just like they have here. And I did happen to find a nice green that I think represents the green that the original maker had in mind. This green is quite obviously faded and old. And then her background looks like a bright white. I'm using more of an eggshell white because that's what I had in my stash. And then I'm going to strip these together to make my petals. Stay tuned for more episodes about this strippy tulip quilt. I'm Angela Davis, and I am the 4 AM Quilter. Have a great day.